everyone, good morning, welcome. It's been a while since we've last done a live video for our Focus Physio page. Now today what we're going to look at, and what we thought we'd do, is a press-up video. So breaking down the press-up. So you would have seen social media going around the rounds of all these push-up challenge for PTSD and so on. So we thought we'd break the push-up down a little bit closer and see just the small mechanics of the push-up and how we can make the push-ups a little bit more efficient for you, and how we can keep things a bit safer for you as well, and get you a little bit stronger as you're doing the push-ups. Alright, so we're going to look at a few things on what the push-up actually is, some mechanics behind the push-ups, and some common errors that we see. In part 2 of our video, we're going to look at some corrections that we can do and some progressions that we can do for our press-ups. Alright, so a press-up, what actually is a press-up? It looks something like this. So the press-up is exactly that, a press-up. We're not too concerned of, is it a tricep push-up, is it a bicep push-up, is it a diamond push-up, and so on with all those names. Right, a push-up is pattern specific. So we're talking a press movement as opposed to a pull movement or even a specific muscle type movement. Alright, so let's just get that clear, that a press-up is a pattern type movement and it's pattern specific. Alright, so what a push-up mechanics like? Essentially, from the top of the press-up movement, you're coming down to the ground with your forearms vertical and you're pushing straight off the floor. Alright? Coming down and pushing straight up again. Now, if you have to think about when you're pushing an object, right, you want to push based on the law of physics. You want to push something that's more efficient. Looking at how you push in the line of the force, you want to push horizontally. A lot of times what we see when clients do the press-up movements, or you see press-ups around, going around rounds, you see press-ups like so. Now if I were to extrapolate that to pushing an object, you wouldn't be pushing an object this way, right? So if you look at how I come down this way, around my shoulder height, you wouldn't be pushing an object this way. Rather, the most efficient way would be to push an object this way. Whether you're pushing this way, pushing a rock, pushing a car, pushing a wall, it will always be this way in line with the force. So a lot of times we see press-ups being done this way, which is not the most efficient type push-up that you can do. In addition to that, for a press-up type movement, with your shoulders being wide, or your arms being wide, and flaring your elbows out, what can happen sometimes is this. After a while, under fatigue, to push yourself back up, we see that shoulder dumping inwards. Alright, I'm going to show that again. Coming up that way. Not very efficient, and putting your shoulder at a risk as well. What we suggest is to keep your elbows close together. Alright, we're going to talk through some progressions and some corrections tomorrow, but here are some things to think about. Okay, just as a summary again, the press-up is a pattern-specific type movement. We're looking at the most efficient way of doing a push-up, the most mechanically efficient way, and how we want to progress that to becoming to doing a push-up that's going to keep us from potentially keeping us from getting an injury. So we'll see you tomorrow for part 2.